How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to go over the best farming spots in each zone for Shadowlands skinning. All of the leathers are currently selling insanely fast as players are buying them up for their professions. I will give you guys the breakdown on how much leather per hour I was getting from each of these spots and leave it up to you to get a true gold per hour since it will be server dependent. I would highly recommend that you do these farms on a character that has good AoE and has good self-healing to maximize your efforts. The reason for this is because the more mobs you are able to kill per hour, the more opportunity you will have to get more leather. If you are consistently having to stop and heal or not being able to pull large enough packs, this could take out valuable time and have a huge impact on your leather per hour. The first spot I wanted to cover is going to take us out to Bastion. Here's the best spot I have found to maximize your leather per hour in this zone. This spot is located at coordinate 4957 inside Callous Den. The mobs to be targeting in here are Anima-Starved Cloudfeather and Anima-Starved Worm. The spawn rate is extremely fast on these and they will most likely already be up before you finish skinning the first ones you killed. For this reason, I suggest using a Dark Moon Firewater Potion or the Glove Enchants for Shadowlands Gathering. Since it is early in the expansion, the enchants are going to be a little pricey right now, but you can always have a set of gloves just for when you are skinning to put on so you don't have to keep enchanting new gloves. Dark Moon Firewater Potion isn't too expensive right now, and you might also have some left over from BFA. Either way, definitely have some kind of reduction time for skinning to save a lot of time. After killing mobs at this spot for an hour, I was averaging around 2,000 Desolate Leather, 100 Heavy Desolate Leather, 200 Callous Hide, and 10 Callous Heavy Hides. Desolate Leather has a US sales price of a little over 13 gold each, and this would equal out to 26,000 gold per hour if your server is at or above that. Heavy Desolate Leather has a US sales price of 100 gold each, which would equal out to 10,000 gold. Callous Hide has a US price of 159 gold each and would mean for an hour it would be almost 32,000 gold. The most expensive leather right now is Heavy Callous Hide, and for the 10 we were averaging, that would be 14,500 gold at the US average price of 1,450 gold each. If you add all that up, that is a whopping 82,300 gold for an hour's worth of your time skinning. As I said earlier, these are selling really fast, so some serious gold can be made from this spot. During my time farming since expansion launch, I haven't had too much competition at this spot. This could definitely change as more players get leveled and find out about this, but right now it is a very profitable spot. The second spot I wanted to cover is going to take us out to Maldraxxus. Here's the best spot I have found to maximize your leather per hour in this zone. This spot is located at coordinate 4349 in Maldraxxus. The mobs to target here are Neonet Bonetooths, Bloodskin Turellus, and Furious Alpha Hoofs. The spawn rate is still extremely fast on these, and they will most likely be already up before you finish skinning the ones you just killed. They are also spread out in the entire spot I linked earlier, so just make a little loop to make sure you are gathering enough of the mobs to increase your total per hour. These mobs do have a little more HP and hit harder than the ones in Bastion, so keep that in mind. Because of that, we did see a slight decrease in leather acquired here for an hour's worth of farming. I was averaging around 1,800 Desolate Leather, 70 Heavy Desolate Leather, 160 Callous Hide, and 7 Heavy Callous Hides. Going back to the US mean prices I listed earlier, that means we would end up with a little over 23,000 gold for Desolate Leather, 7,000 gold for Heavy Desolate Leather, 25,000 gold for Callous Hide, and 10,000 gold for Heavy Callous Hide. That totals up to a little under 66,000 gold for an hour's worth of your time at this spot in Maldraxxus. Definitely far less than we were averaging in Bastion, but not too bad in terms of gold per hour. I would recommend only doing this spot if you had a max level character with a decent amount of gear so you can increase the mobs per hour and try to get the leather totals closer to the Bastion amount. This could also be used as a backup spot in case the others are already taken in Bastion. The third spot is going to take us to one of my favorite new zones, Ardenweald. Here's the best spot I have found to maximize your leather per hour in this zone. This spot is located at coordinate 4524 in Ardenweald. The mob to target here is the Gorn Raveners. The spawn rate is a little slower than the previous two spots we went over, but there's a lot of these in the zone, so you shouldn't run out of things to kill before the first group starts spawning again. I was averaging around 1900 Desolate Leather, 80 Heavy Desolate Leather, 180 Callous Hide, and 9 Heavy Callous Hides at the spot. If we look back at the US mean price I listed earlier, that means we would end up with a little under 25,000 gold for Desolace Leather, 8,000 gold for Heavy Desolace Leather, 28,000 gold for Callous Hide, and 13,000 gold for Heavy Callous Hides. The total for all of that is a little over 74,000 gold for an hour's worth of your time farming at this spot in Ardenweald. This is a great spot as it is part of a main questline in Ardenweald, so you might be able to snag some free skinning off others mobs that I have already killed. I would say this spot is right up there with the Bastion one in terms of profitability, and unlike the Maldraxxus spot, the mobs have lower HP and don't hit as hard, so it should be easier overall, but not as quite as easily as Bastion. I quickly wanted to cover the fourth and final zone, that is Rivendreth, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't found a go-to spot in Rivendreth yet. The mobs here do a lot of damage and none of them really hyperspawn like the other areas we talked about earlier in the video. For now, I'm going to say that don't waste your time over here because the gold per hour isn't going to be anything compared to the other zones I mentioned before. So just to wrap a couple things up, in conclusion, there is a ton of gold to be made out there with skinning right now. If you had to pick one of these spots to be your go-to, I would stick with Bastion because the mobs are easy to kill and right on top of each other with an insanely fast respawn timer. If Bastion is overrun with other players, head over to Ardenweald. If both of those spots aren't doing the trick, then you could try your luck with Maldraxxus, but only if it's your last option. It is going to be less gold per hour because of the mobs being so far spread out and harder to kill, but 66,000 gold per hour is nothing to shrug your shoulders to. No matter which spot you choose, there's a great opportunity to make some serious gold with skinning right now. If I find any better spots in the future, I'll be sure to link the new video around that in the comment section below. As for now, happy launch week and go skin some mobs. Well, there you have it, guys, the best spots to use when farming the new Shadowlands leathers. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.